Marcus Chen had always prided himself on being practical. So when the Galactic Matrimonial Exchange program was announced 6 months ago, he'd laughed harder than anyone else in the mining station's cantina. Alien wives? He'd scoffed, raising his beer to the holographic advertisement floating above their table. What's next, pet dragons? Come on, this is just another scam to separate lonely miners from their credits. His friend Jake had nudged him playfully. I don't know, man. Says here they're looking for genetically compatible species for interstellar bonding. Maybe you should sign up. God knows you need help in the dating department. Marcus had laughed it off, but privately he'd wondered about the legitimacy of it all. The Terran Colonial Authority had been making strange announcements lately. First contact protocols, cultural exchange programs, trade agreements with species he'd never heard of. But actual relationships, marriage, it seemed absurd. That was 6 months ago. Now, standing in the airlock of mining station Kepler 442b, Marcus stared at the sleek alien vessel docked to their humble facility. His hands trembled slightly as he held the official TCA document that had arrived that morning, his name printed clearly at the top in both English and what appeared to be flowing, luminescent script. Subject: Marcus Chen. Compatibility match. Confirmed. Arrival scheduled today. The station commander, a gruff woman named Rodriguez, stood beside him adjusting her dress uniform. You sure you didn't sign up for this, Chen? Because according to this manifest, someone named Zix Aria specifically requested you. Marcus shook his head, his throat dry. I swear, Commander, I never filled out any forms. I never even believed it was real. The airlock cycled with a soft hiss, and Marcus felt his heart hammering against his ribs. Whatever joke the universe was playing on him, it was about to reach its punchline. The inner door opened, revealing 3 figures in form-fitting environmental suits. The one in front stepped forward and removed her helmet, revealing features that made Marcus's breath catch in his throat. She was humanoid, but clearly not human. Her skin had a subtle iridescent quality, shifting between pale gold and soft silver in the station's lighting. Her eyes were larger than a human's, a deep violet color that seemed to hold starlight. Her hair, if it could be called hair, flowed like liquid mercury, constantly moving as if underwater. But it was her smile that stopped him cold. It was warm, genuine, and somehow familiar. Marcus Chen? She asked, her voice carrying a melodious quality that made his name sound like music. I am Zixaria of the Ethereal Collective. I believe there has been some confusion? Marcus managed to nod, not trusting his voice. Zixaria turned to one of her companions, speaking in rapid musical tones. The second alien, broader and more heavily built, consulted a device that projected a holographic display. It appears, Zixaria continued in accented but perfect English, that your species' quantum communication networks experienced what you might call crossed wires with our matching algorithms. Your brainwave patterns, recorded during a routine medical scan 6 months ago, were somehow transmitted to our compatibility archive. Marcus found his voice. My brainwave patterns? Yes, every being in the galaxy has a unique neural resonance frequency. Ours matched with a probability of 94.7%. According to our customs, this constitutes a binding matrimonial pre-agreement. The absurdity of it all finally broke through Marcus's shock. Wait, you're saying I'm married because of a medical scan glitch? Zixaria's expression grew concerned. Not married, no, but promised. In our culture, when 2 neural patterns achieve such harmony, it is considered a gift from the cosmic consciousness. To ignore such a pairing brings great dishonor. Commander Rodriguez stepped forward. Now, hold on, our boy Marcus here has rights. He can't be forced into some alien marriage because of a computer error. Zixaria's companions exchanged worried glances, but she herself studied Marcus with those remarkable violet eyes. "Of course, I had hoped—" She paused, seeming to search for the right words. "I had hoped to at least meet the one whose thoughts sang so beautifully in harmony with mine. But I understand if this is unwelcome." Marcus felt something twist in his chest. The way she said it, with such quiet dignity and unmistakable disappointment, made him feel like he'd kicked a puppy. "I didn't say it was unwelcome," he found himself saying. "I'm just confused. How does this work? Are you expecting to just move in? Do I need to come with you to space? Do we have anything in common besides matching brainwaves?" A genuine smile crossed Zixaria's features. "Perhaps we could find out? My ship has been assigned to this sector for the next solar cycle. I could— What is your expression? Court you properly?" Marcus looked around at the faces surrounding him. His commander, his fellow miners who had gathered to watch, the alien delegation waiting patiently for his answer. 6 months ago, he'd been just another lonely miner counting down days until his contract expired. Now he was apparently the center of an interstellar romantic comedy. "You know," he said slowly, 6 months ago, I laughed at the whole idea of alien wives, said it was ridiculous." Zixaria's smile faltered slightly. "But," Marcus continued, surprising himself with his own words, "I've been wrong about a lot of things lately. Maybe we could start with dinner. Do you eat food, or is it more of a photosynthesis situation?" Her laugh was like silver bells in a gentle wind. "We eat food, Marcus Chan, and I would very much like to have dinner with you." As the group moved toward the station's main corridor, Marcus caught Jake's eye. His friend was grinning widely and mouthing, "I told you so." Marcus shook his head, still hardly believing any of this was real. But as Zixaria fell into step beside him, asking curious questions about human mining techniques, he found himself thinking that maybe, just maybe, the universe had a better sense of humor than he'd given it credit for. After all, he'd always been practical. And practically speaking, how many men could say they'd found love through a cosmic computer glitch? The future, he decided, was going to be very interesting indeed.